Hey, what's up? This is Jono from Bloom, and I'm chatting with Kyra from Heavy Mag.
Awesome. How's your day been, man?
It's been okay. It's been all right. We got a 9-week-old puppy 2 weeks ago, so we had to do a vet trip today, which was nice and fun. But I'm doing well. Just cruising.
Yep, just cruising through. That's a full-time job, getting a puppy.
Yes, yeah, and I'm working from home as well, so it's
really?
2 jobs for the price of one. Yeah,
I wouldn't get any work done, man. Hats off to you.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's awesome. So you guys have got a lot going on for Bloom at the moment. Let's start with your new release, Bound to Your Whispers, which turned a week old yesterday.
It did, yeah.
So in your words, what does this track mean to you and how did it come to be?
So I think Bound to Your Whispers is kind of the next step for where we all collectively see Bloom heading towards. It definitely shares the most sort of characteristics with Sing Into the Soil, which was January last year. And it's kind of a crock pot, so to speak, of the riffs and the breakdowns and the really big moments that, it translate really well live. It's catchy and it's got a hooky chorus that is something that we have always loved writing, and I think it also balances the sort of the emotional and the lyrical and the really sort of literal wording that we've kind of explored in all of our releases prior. It came to be sort of the same way that I guess any of the Bloom prior music has come to be, where we kind of build up a Dropbox folder to the brim of song ideas and demos, and sometimes it's just as simple as sections of songs. And then we work super closely with a producer down in Melbourne called Christopher Vernon. We've worked with him for every release since Cold. Awesome. And he is kind of the glue that brings the Dropbox folder together. It's really the sixth man who kind of pulls the best bits and helps us really structure it in a way where we're getting the best bits of maybe multiple songs and kind of cramming them into the one.
Yeah, that's perfect. And I think your raw honesty is definitely what's drawing people in towards it as well. Like it's I love it. So talk me through the process on the film clip, because when I watch it, I feel like it kind of captures that fuzzy haze that you feel when there is self-doubt and you're digging deeper into yourself and it's like, and you can't get out of it. It's like, am I on the right path, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, I mean, we are so lucky. In the last couple of years, we've managed to build up a team of people around us who are just fucking phenomenal at what they do. The music video for Bound was done by our friend Jack Fontes, who works as a part of June Labs, which is a sort of music video company. We had an idea to create almost like a void or a place where there was no sort of sense of walls or any structure to it. And that entire video we shot in a big psych room, so just a giant green screen, and kind of gave him a little bit to go off. We wanted it to feel barren, we wanted it to feel kind of frantic, and we wanted it to look like fucked up. We wanted it to look distorted and noisy, because we kind of felt like that resonated with, I guess, what the song was about sort of these disjointed inner self feelings and this destruction and this isolation sort of feeling. So he filmed it all, and then he edited it, and then he reshot. He kind of did a digital to analog, filmed a screen to create like this really retro and noisy and deteriorated feeling, and it just came together perfectly. I'm pretty sure we had one revision, and we were like, no, it's perfect. Like, just change this one small detail, and it's good. No other notes.
That's so good. That's awesome. I think frantic describes it perfectly. Like it ties in. You kind of feel that, I don't know, nails the feeling behind the song absolutely perfectly.
No, he absolutely crushed it. It's this video that he took exactly what we described, what we wanted, and just ran with it. Like, hats off to him.
That's perfect. And to have one edit is pretty rare.
It doesn't happen. But the madman made it happen.
That's awesome. That absolutely captured your vision and just come to life.
For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. How would you describe Bloom to someone who's just jumped on the bandwagon?
I would say that we are, well, I mean, I'll hope that this person has stumbled across them for the right reasons and they have an appreciation for heavy music.
Yeah.
I would say that we combine a lot of the parts of metalcore that people really like with this sort of melodic hardcore influence that's emotional, and we always try to connect with what we're writing lyrically and tying it all together. We're a band of, we really want to have memorable moments. And I think something that we hold sort of to the highest regard as well is we always really put a lot into our live shows as well.
Yeah.
If you have just stumbled across Bloom and you're unsure, come to a show. Let us sell us to you. I think we've always sort of worn our hearts on our sleeves, and I think that translates in our releases as well. We really try and be very literal and very earnest with the listener. We think that sort of makes the best music, or the music that you can connect to the most. So yeah, if you stumble across us, come see us live, and you'll get the real experience.
That's a great answer, man. Your passion and how genuine you are, I think, shines through this, and I think people even hearing this would go, oh yeah, I'm going to show up and go check this guy out. That's great
Only
answer.
A little bit salesman. Only a little salesman.
A little bit. It's your day job.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Scrolling through your socials, you can kind of see the camaraderie between you and that you're having like an awesome time. And you do have a lot of people who are rooting for you. Like you see, these days you jump on socials and you see a mixed bag of people being absolute jackasses. Sure. But there's a lot of people on there who are showing you guys love. So I'm kind of curious, how did you guys come to be, and how long was that connection been there? Like, what are your musical backgrounds?
This is a real doozy. So me and Jared and Jack and Andrew all went to not the same school, but we all ran in the same circle.
Yeah.
So me and Jared and Andrew all went to the same school, and Ollie went to a school nearby, Jack went to a school nearby.
Awesome.
We have been best friends years before Bloom ever started. And I think that's kind of what you've picked up on as well, is there's this camaraderie. And I think Bloom started because we all had the same shared love for music.
Yeah.
But the reason Bloom has continued is because our friendship has stayed so solid, and we've got to achieve so many bucket list things together. It's such an honor to be able to not only play shows with friends and tour with friends, but just to still hang out with friends all the time and accomplish really cool things together. It's super jarring to me when I hear people talking about maybe their band and they see their bandmates as bandmates. They are people who are in the band because they fulfill XYZ role. And sure, they're friends, but it's kind of a different relationship to us. Whereas if Bloom was to self-destruct, I think all of us would still want to remain friends and have that sort of relationship regardless of whether we play in a band together or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't teach that shit, man, honestly. You can put together a band all you want, but to have that gel and that genuineness and that love and respect between each other, that comes with time.
I thought that was normal. I thought that was like what bands were like. And it was only after, a few years of doing this where I went, we are super lucky to be in the position that we're in. Like, it is rare, and I kind of just went in going, this must be normal. Everyone starts a band with their mates and does all these cool things. No, we consider ourselves super lucky. Yeah,
absolutely. Like sometimes it can start off that way, but to actually stick together years later and still have the same vision and still passion and love, it's a big thing, and it's something to be definitely proud of for sure. Yeah. So this year's been huge for you guys. So you've joined forces with Destroy All Lines. You've become a part of Pure Noise Records alongside giants in the industry, quite literally.
Yeah, literal giant. Yep. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure, man. You've been put on the bill for Good Things 2023, which we'll chat about a little bit later. But are you guys slowly just casually ticking these things off your bucket list?
It's the absolute opposite of the start of this year. Like we had a kind of slow start to the year for no reason other than we had to get our ducks in a row, so to speak. Like it's been the first 6 months of the year. Like we had a great tour with Ocean Grove, but a lot of the time that was not on that tour was spent focusing on this portion of the year. Sort of how do we want the end of 2023, the start of 2024 to look for us? Obviously, the big one, and I think the thing that we were really just itching at the bit to get out was with Pure Noise. That Huge. Took a while, and we have a phenomenal team of people. Like I can't sing their praises any higher. Who kind of got that across the line, and Grayscale's been amazing with it as well. And to sort of join their roster that's a real big bucket list one for us. I made a post on my Instagram a few last week about the signing, but the short of it is, when Bloom started, we did the typical thing of you write your band goals on a list. We wrote down 3 things. One of them was to play Unify, one of them was to play an international show, and one of them was to sign with Pure Noise Records. There and then, as 19-year-olds, we pinned it. This is the label we want to sign with, and we're probably nearing on 7-8 months since those conversations, those whispers first started happening, and we have, slaved so hard, and the people around us that we work with have slaved so hard to make it happen. And it's kind of, we've had that, obviously signing with, joining Destroy All Lines, and then Good Things to end off the year. It's just sort of, we've reaped what we've sown, I guess, to put it nicely. We spent so much time in the weeds getting all of our shit sorted, making sure that we crossed every T, dotted every I, and now we get to kind of enjoy the rollout side, and it just seems like all this amazing stuff is happening at once. And I think on the outside it kind of looks like, oh my god, what Bloomers,
what the hell,
this and this, and it hasn't been without months and months of how are we going to play this next sort of time.
Absolutely. And now you get to hold the flame for Aussie music. That's huge. You look at who's on their roster, and to have you guys alongside there, I couldn't imagine scrolling down and seeing my name on there. So that's a huge feat.
I remember the day it went live, we all sort of went on the Pure Noise website, screenshot of it. What is
That's fucking us.
It's crazy. As for Australian bands with Pure Noise, it's us and the Amity Affliction. Quite. It is a fucking big. It's a huge get, and I cannot be more grateful. I cannot express the privilege that we feel anymore. It is literally the dream for us as a band. It was on the whiteboard, so awesome. To tick that one off is just phenomenal.
You guys manifested the shit out of that.
I know. Oh my god, it worked.
Well done. So you kind of answered this question here, because I guess you're going to say go overseas, but where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's the big one. Hopefully before the 5 years is up. We want to get over as soon as we can. We're that's the next big thing for us. Is we definitely have still, heaps more to cover in Australia, but we're kind of at a point as a band where we're like, okay, let's start tackling these international markets. We're all really good friends with the Thornhill boys, and they have just been absolutely eating every country they go to, and we kind of want to put ourselves on the same sort of trajectory where we can do a solid support slot in Europe, and this in the States, and we all really want to go over to New Zealand because we've all got family in New Zealand.
Cool.
And I think that's the main focus. Is we want to continue to tour the shit out of Australia. We have headline plans and all the exciting stuff. But we're itching at the bit to get overseas.
I don't think it'll take too long.
I hope not.
Shit's happening for you guys, and the ball's rolling. People are noticing. So
absolutely.
I can't see it taking that long. So you guys have supported Bad Omens, just quietly.
Oh yeah.
No biggie. Been a part of Unified Gathering, and you're heading out with Thornhill next month on their prom tour. So alongside the other list of impressive shows that you've been a part of, what's the core memory or show that's just stopped you in your tracks and you've gone, are you serious? Is this us?
Oh, I've got 2 answers. Because one of them is not a show that is, it is memorable to us as a band, but maybe not on the grand picture. The first one would be the first headline show that we did right after we released Cold. It was 150 capacity room in Sydney. It was the Burdekin Hotel. And we packed that room out, and it was people that were singing along and were super into it. Up until that point, we were very much a band. We opened the shows and we were selling selling our music to the people in the room. We were, let's put on a really great performance, and hopefully these people will walk out of here fans of the band. And that show was the first show where it felt like there was a community.
Yeah, cool.
There were people that were just super excited to be there. They were friends of ours. There were people we'd never met before. We had people jumping on shoulders and to do all of that, and especially being the first headline we did, it was a really big moment of wow, like we did this. Like, they're not here to see the headliner. They're like that was a really cool moment. Yeah. I guess the other one that stands out as a giant one, probably still Unify.
Yeah.
Sure. It was on the whiteboard. So to achieve that was phenomenal, and it was just such a fun weekend. Like only a few of us had actually been to Unify as punters in the past. So for me, it was my first experience actually seeing the campgrounds and really soaking in the atmosphere. And to even just attend Unify was incredible, let alone be a part of it. We were blessed with an incredible slot on the first day, so we still had the whole weekend to really revel in its glory.
Yeah, you didn't have to be nervous all weekend.
Exactly. I mean, I would hate nothing more to be like closing Unify on the second day. Like, what do you do for the? Whew. Yeah. But yeah, like, and that was the by far and away the biggest amount of people we played to up at that point. So yeah, that was a real special one, and yeah, it's locked up in here.
Yeah, cool. And that was just such a stacked lineup too. Like,
it was massive. Crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you've spoken about the Dropbox, with stacked full of your music. So do you guys have another album in the works, or what are you thinking?
We have lots more to share. We don't have any. The NDA hasn't been lifted just yet. But yeah, there'll be more from us before the year is up.
Cool.
We have the ball has rolling. Bound is just the start of everything. But yeah, we started working on this next release cycle we started doing pre-production for it in January last year, and we recorded it in September last year.
Cool.
So it has been a long time coming. But we're all super stoked with everything, and I think the thing that I'm most excited to get out there is obviously Bound is a taste, but I think with all the stuff that we have coming, we've really drawn from wider influence as well. It's not sort of the same carbon copy of what we've been doing. It's kind of to both ends of the extreme, heavier and softer. And yeah, it's been a really rewarding experience, albeit a long one. But yes, there is more to come before the year is up.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Keep an eye out for that. So obviously coming up in December, you guys are playing Good Things. Amazing.
Yeah.
Alongside Limp Bizkit, Bullet for My Valentine, Corey Taylor, Slaughter to Prevail, just to name
crazy.
Like a few. Who are you most looking forward to kind of rubbing shoulders with or playing alongside?
Oh, I don't know if I'll be rubbing their shoulders, but I like to see Fall Out Boy, or to see Bloom on the same poster as Fall Out Boy, albeit different sizes, is crazy. Like my introduction into sort of the heavier music was the Fueled by Ramen, like Paramore, Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy era. So, and I guess as well for like my parents to see a poster and they can see Fall Out Boy and this is my son's band. Like that's some crazy shit. Fall Out Boy are going to be really fun. Limp Bizkit will be really fun. I think there's going to be a lot of really good moments at Good Things, and not to discredit, a band's full discography, but, seeing Eskimo Joe play Black Fingernails, Red Wine, seeing Devo play Whip It, Rollin' and break stuff with them. There's so many incredible moments. I'm really excited to see The Plot New as well. I saw them last time they were here. Phenomenal band. I really dig the stuff they've been putting out. I think it's going to be just an absolute chaotic weekend, 3 back-to-back fly in fly out sort of thing is tricky for anyone. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy weekend, and it'll be the second festival we've done, first being Unify, I guess big outdoor festival, I suppose. We feel like Unify, we got a taste of it, and now we get to do it 3 times in one weekend, and just so excited.
huge weekend. Absolutely massive. Yeah, that's so cool. So where can everyone go to follow your journey? Where are you most active on your socials or your website we can direct people to?
Follow us on our socials. Instagram is probably the place where we're the most active because fuck Facebook. But yeah, follow us on Instagram, Bloom Sid. Anything that we are sharing is going through Instagram. You'll see live photos, you'll see upcoming shows, merch, all the like is the place to be.
Awesome. And honestly, I'm so excited to see what comes from you guys. Like, you're extremely passionate, and I can see that you're in it for the right reasons, and music is your be-all, end-all. So Heavy Mag will be at the Brizzy Good Thing, so hopefully we'll catch up then. Yep, we'll have a sit down and catch up and see how the year's been. Got a couple more months between then, so I'm sure you'll conquer the world.
I hope so. So. We'll keep trying.
But yeah, that's it. Well, thanks for your time, Jono. It's honestly been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. Lovely to meet and lovely to chat.
Excellent. Catch you next time.
See ya.
See you,
Take care. Bye.